Welcome back. It's Crafty Buckeye, joined by my friend Silky Mittens. Just kidding.
Oh!
That's not Silky Mittens. That's
No.
Pawnox. That's my boy Pawnox.
Silky sucks!
Yeah,
You
that's
can hear the crowd chanting.
That's Silky's toxic.
Dun, 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 dun.
Just kidding. He'll be back for the next game, I would assume. But we got Pawnox subbing in for this one, giving us a little breather on this long night of the final night of Week 4 here. We got another great match here between Argon 53 and Revolution Death Squad.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a very competitive game. I feel like both these teams kind of bring a lot to the table that's going to make for a very interesting match rolling into this one. Starting off right with a Nautilus ban that's going to be directed towards the top lane. Oliver Klozoff going to be subbing in actually in the top lane role. So, I mean, it's a very not too much of a skill-intensive champion. Sorry, guys.
Just turn the camera over and just fucking embarrass the shit out of Card right, Silky right now, but we won't. We're just gonna. They did have a loss of ban because they didn't announce that their starter. They didn't know their starter was gonna be back in time. He ended up making it home in time, so they didn't have to use their sub. They just had to use the one loss of ban for not declaring the in-game roster in time. But I think that's worth as long as you get the cohesion in the game. Oliver Klozoff is the sub in the top lane. He's been playing it all over the map. I swear you can do it all.
Yeah,
I've seen a mid 80 carry.
And I think with taking away the Nautilus right now in the top lane meta is one of the less mechanically intensive ones. I mean, like, basically you can just be a tank and win most matchups as long as you itemize correctly. So it's not the most skill-intensive top laner to play right now. So taking that away from Oliver Klozoff might force him onto something that's a little less comfortable for him. Also going to see the Nidalee and the Gangplank being taken away here. Gangplank, he's seen some nerfs over the last few patches, but still apparently a off pick that they don't want to have to deal with on the side of Revolution Death Squad.
Just the you're talking about the Nautilus pick, but I think it's more just it's not even Oliver Klozoff. It's like that they flex it through 3 lanes because C9 Kangaskong plays it like every other game,
True.
And Luke Duke has played it, and Oliver Klozoff has played it. So they like to. It's just something that they don't want to give them in general, just because they flex it out their butts. So yeah.
We are also going to see the Z ban coming out from them as well. Very strong right now. I mean, it's a
Little
huge
Benny
assassin.
though in the mid lane this week. We saw Toast play it last week.
Yeah.
But Little Benny, they swapped again. They're swapping back. Hopefully Toast is like, man, I don't want those AP runes on Zed this time. That caused so much confusion last week. We got Little Benny in the mid lane again this time. So Toast, I'm expecting to see, I don't know, some Lee Sin maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Something that can really make some plays as they do lock in the Alistar. They're going to really focus on that initiation again. Their Weeblet, no stranger to that champion. So going to see the counter lock in here of the Gragas early on. I feel very strong jungle pick, very safe jungle pick.
The top 3, I would say right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, locking that in, no surprise, really, I'd say, coming out for Kangaskhan here. And they're going to also follow that up here with a Thresh, a very standard support pick. A lot of playmaking ability for them as well. So, I feel like they're kind of getting most of what they need so far out of this pick and ban phase early on here. Going to see how they decide to round that out. But something coming out in the jungle here for Toast, I would say that they probably want to round this out with another tank maybe in the jungle as the Nidalee is taken away. It's going to offer something there, but floating over that Rengar might see a little bit of a carry lord here.
He likes to play Rengar at least in a lot, so that makes that is no stranger. Toast is no stranger to those guys, and Rengar is the one locked in. Also the Corki, so flexing through that. It could be 80 carry, it could be mid. I'm not entirely. We haven't seen Little Benny play mid. We don't know what his champ pool exactly consists of, but it's a pretty low skill champion to play mid, and very safe, very easy to farm.
Yeah,
anyone can play it, and it's a great pick.
Yeah, that's why, and I also like picking up very early on in the draft, so you haven't shown the hand of like your other lanes, so it still is very much a flex pick for them here. Throwing that in the bot lane, you're going to definitely open up a lot of opportunities in the mid lane, but it's still very, very strong in that mid lane, doing so much mixed damage. You're not going to really have to tunnel too hard on picking up something that's going to be able to trade damage here and there, because locking that Rengar, you're going to have a lot of AD coming out of him. But the Corki is enough to kind of compensate for that. So you can still lock in an 80 carry, not have to worry about who's going to be able to build armor, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But we are going to see the Lysandra and the Sivir lock in here. Very strong right now for both of those champions in their respective lanes. The Lysandra is going to be great initiation to follow up with that Gragas, any explosive casks, as well as that Thresh if he lands any hooks. And the Sivir, the on the hunts, is just so strong, as well as those late game crits. Going to be able to hit teams very, very hard.
Oh, for sure. And that Lissandra can also flex too. So they have the ability to put that top mid and then decide after they see the 2 lanes here, because they'll figure out whether Corki's mid. I think Lissandra would do fine into Corki mid. I think it would also do fine into Lulu, whichever that ends up going. But if they decide to pick Varus mid, they might want to put Lissandra top and pick maybe more of an assassin-style mid laner. We haven't exactly seen that come out as your Invictus so far. He likes to kind of like Lux kind of style champions, I think. But they have the flexibility to put Lissandra in the lane that she would be most comfortable in.
We are going to pick up the Varus here, so it looks like they're going to go for a kind of pseudo poke comp here with the Corki and the Varus being locked in there.
That's Varus 3 games tonight. 3 for 3. I don't get it at all. It was 280 carry at least. I think this time it's mid. So that's a little something different. But you never know. It could also be Corki mid. Both those champions can go both lanes.
Absolutely. So I mean,
and look, I called it Lux mid.
Yeah, and I mean, with seeing that and the amount of lockdown that they have potentially, we're gonna see Little Benny. He's actually gonna be hovering a cleanse here. So I mean, that's something they gotta be very. He's obviously spouting some worries there, going on for one of the main damage threats for his team, not wanting to get locked down too much by this Lissandra and Lux. Potential hover here would be very scary. The Ahri maybe, really going for that mobility and the amount of damage countering instead of that Lux. Yeah, I do like it as well.
I like it a lot more, and I actually like the Lissandra top into the Lulu. I think it's a little bit better matchup, and Ahri has the safety, has the ability to kill if Gragas wants to come in. I like the damage that they brought here. Sivir, very strong late game with the crits. Overall, great pick ban. Gragas, huge. They got the front line with Gragas Thresh. They got it all. I think lots of CC, lots of picks.
I really like the Ahri pick, last minute switch instead of the Lux, because Lux offers some of the same things as Varus, a lot of poke, a lot of damage, and the final spark is a huge cooldown. Like a low cooldown, but it's huge in fights, right? So it's often up very much, but it's almost mostly certainly that you're going to be playing that into a Varus mid. So going something with a lot of mobility, a lot of kill potential, and just a lot of overall pressure in the lane, it's going to fare a little bit better early on in those levels 1 to 6 there instead of the Lux. Lux is going to be able to poke you out, sure, but it's not going to be a huge amount of threat. So going with the Ahri with the Ignite, huge pressure in that mid lane, going to make sure this Varus isn't going to be able to really roam down and support any of his other lanes.
Exactly. I still like the call from Lil Benny to go with the cleanse.
Yeah,
even though it wasn't the Lissandra mid who has that point click CC alt. The cleanse is great for a charm, just in case the gank seems to come. Even if the hook comes out of nowhere or late game Lissandra comes in on you.
Exactly. It's going to be an effective summoner throughout the entire game instead of going something like Barrier that it really translates early on, but later in the game you don't see the effectiveness of it too much. Cleanse is something that you're going to be depending on throughout the entire stage of the game. So overall, I actually really like the pick and ban phase from both teams here, I think I got to give the edge to Revolution Death Squad.
Me too. I agree 100%, and I'm can't wait to see how this one plays out. We will take a quick break here. As we load into game, we'll be right back with game number 1 between Argon 53 and Revolution Death Squad. Bailey.
And we are back. I'm here with my ride or die, Crafty Buckeye, and I am Bailey Ponnox Dietrich. And we are going to be loading into the game here with, it's going to be Argon 53 versus Revolution Death Squad. And on the blue side, rather, we're going to have Argon 53. We're going to have Nubinator in the top lane, playing that Lulu. Toast in the jungle, playing that Rengar. Little Benny in the mid lane, playing that Varus. Caboose in the 80 carry role, playing some Corkscrew. And Weeblit playing Big Al in the bot lane.
Big Al! Those Australian, they really need those name changes. Just kidding. And on the red side, we got Revolution Death Squad in the top lane. Oliver closed off, bringing in the Lysandra. In the jungle, we got C9 Genghis Khan, bringing in the Gragas. The mid lane, Zero Invictus. With that Ari, and in the bot lane, Copyrights, and Luke Duke with that Sivir Thresh.
Yeah, so we're going to have a little bit of an invade here from...
No.
Oh, I thought they might have tried to go around the banana brush here, but
no,
they might still actually try and get some vision around this blue side of...
They didn't drop any wards. It looked like they were going to walk in, and they didn't drop any.
Finally, there we go.
Ward
down. Ward down. But yeah, more or less some defensive warding from Argon 53 and a little bit of aggressive warding here from Revolution Death Squad, trying to spot out the start here of this team. But I don't think you can really expect anything different from Rengar. You're not really going to start a blue start. You don't need that mana early on, anything like that. And the Krug start is really great for Rengar. Just getting that stun on so many autos there is just going to help with your clear and speed it up quite a bit, more so than the Gromp. So I don't think there was any surprise there that they're not going to be spotting him at this blue buff.
Yeah.
More or less just trying to see if there was any kind of line of scrimmage that might have been set up there. But going to see some pretty standard starts here. Going to see the Genghis Khan. He's going to be starting up on his blue side. Going to get some mana for himself. Get a little bit of a Krug buff. So just going to probably farm it up a little bit early on here. But a great level 3 here from Genghis Khan. So I would expect him to be a little more present in the lanes early on compared to this Rengar.
Yeah, definitely compared to Rengar. It's not necessarily the strongest level 3, but in this game, it makes it seem a lot stronger. When you have Lysandra with lots of CC early, and a clutch charm could end up killing Lil Benny if cleanse isn't used right.
Exactly. It's just, yeah, they have a lot more early on pressure where Varus, I mean, he doesn't really have a little lockdown that you need until that level 6 where Ari's charm is just huge, followed up by a body slam from Genghis Khan. Can really force Benny to back off early on, blow a lot of summoners. So they're just going to have some huge pressure. Great headbutt pull, though, from Weeblit, the level 2 power spike coming out of the bot line of Argon 53. But they're going to counter it up with a lot of nice autos, and the ricochet here from Copyrights is going to do a real amount of damage. But Luke Duke actually hanging around, trying to land the hook onto Weeblit and try and counter it a little bit with his own damage, but just going to back off in the end there. A pretty even trade in the bot side so far. Going to chunk some pods. Genghis Khan trying to pick a flash, but it's not going to land. The cleanse immediately from Little Benny from the charm is going to get him out of that tricky situation. But we're also going to see Rengar hovering around the mid lane there. Toast hoping to make a play here, but just more or less there for the support of his team. So Little Benny knows that he's got a little room to breathe there, but you know, a lot of map movement so far early on here from Argon 53, trying to make some plays, and we do see Toast actually almost getting the kill there on a Genghis Khan, forcing the flash out of him there.
Yeah, and they even brought Nubinator in for support.
Yeah.
As they're going to look to take this red buff away from him as well. So he's a little level deprived. Actually, he was able to pick up level 3 just from a couple of those Wraith creeps. But red buff double, 3 buff for Argon 53.
Yeah, and I mean, that's going to be huge going forward for this Rengar. That's something that you want to get ahead very early on. You want to power farm and get that level 6 as fast as you can. But we are going to see Weeblit going for a little bit of unfavorable trade.
Hook just missed.
Just going wide. They're not going to be able to pick off Caboose. Caboose is chunked out quite a bit, and he's got no more pots to rely on. So definitely a health kind of advantage here going on the side of Revolution Death Squad. Weeblit going to do the best he can to pop his Relic Shield stack so he can try and heal up his lane partner there a little bit, but still having a little bit of trouble. It seems like the Corki not having as much of an impact as they need right now.
No, that's for sure. And it does. I didn't exactly. Did you take note of the keystones? I noticed. I don't think Alistar took. He took Thunderlords definitely. I know mid lane took Deathfire Touch. Zero Invictus took. That was mid lane was Benny.
Yeah.
Zero Invictus took Thunderlords. Both Thunderlords top lanes and both Strength of the Aegis junglers. I think Fervor came out of Sivir. Corki took Thunderlords.
Yeah, Corki, you're generally going to want to take Thunderlords on it because he can proc it very easily, just because he's more of a burst style AD carry rather than like a DPS style one. And there's a lot of options with Sivir actually that you can go with Keystones. You can go with that Deathfire touch, but Little Benny actually taking a lot of damage here already, but he might have to be careful here. Genghis Khan not having the body slam up quite a bit, going to just try and trade some poke damage back. He's going to use that corruption potion to try and heal himself up a little bit here, but actually going to stick around in the wave here. Doesn't want to give up that huge amount of experience over to Zero Invictus, so he's just gonna try and hang in here for a little while.
Just smart. He knows he's without cleanse, but if he has the range, which he does, he can handle himself, I think, and manage to poke out, just do a little bit of damage here and there while farming. Not too far behind, only 3 behind. Just really the only advantage so far, the significant advantage would be in the bot lane where it's like pushing 10 maybe creeps.
Yeah, copyrights. He's definitely doing a lot of work here on the Sivir. As I was saying, though, again, back to the Keystone, but Rengar actually, yeah, he's pinging it out. He wants to take the damage here. And, Spell Shield popped already. We're going to land the Bola on the copyrights here, and they got to be very, very careful. They're not going to... First Blood actually going to be for Ari in the mid lane. Luke Duke taking a lot of damage. He's got to be very, very careful here. Rengar's going to have the hop available. Is he going to hop onto Luke Duke? Not able to get the damage, and there he goes. Gets a kill picked up for Toast onto Luke Duke in the bot lane, and then it's going to be 1-for-1 so far, but the teleport coming in here very aggressively, and it's actually going to be canceled here. Nubinator is able to stop that one a little bit there, assuming with the silence. But it looks like they're going to try and go for the duel here, actually. Oliver Closeoff doing quite a bit of damage. That is going to be the Glitter Lance already used. Nubinator, he's forced to flash. The mana pool is very low for both of these laners, but the Glitter Lance is landing, trading back a lot. And here comes Genghis Khan actually coming in for the counter gank, but he doesn't know that... Toast was actually still in the push. I actually didn't know that with the ward there, but Toast has to be very, very careful. All the life bars are very, very low for both of the teams. But great map movement so far, but that was a solo kill, I believe, picked up for Zero Invictus in the mid lane onto Little Benny. So that's going to be huge in terms of just accelerating that lane pressure.
Yeah, exactly. And was there any kills there? No kills.
Yes,
just
there was on the Luke Duke.
Just one kill, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That came like a while ago.
Yeah, so
the fighting was going on.
There was
the
solo kill in the mid lane
right.
for Zero Invictus, and then it was Luke Duke died in the bot lane, and that was picked up by Rengar.
It felt like you were talking forever. I don't like the fighting was. Forever. I know the fighting was going on all over the map though for a constant amount of time there.
A lot of action.
And just 2 kills, 1 each, and the gold is just still 200 apart. Not much separating them, as these junglers are still waiting to hit 6. Especially Toast, that's a pretty big power spike for him.
Yeah, and we are going to see Rengar just power farming still. He's finally hit that level 6, so that's going to be a huge spike in terms of the amount of pressure he's going to be applying onto the map here. And we're going to be seeing that Zero Invictus wants to go for the trades again, as he did pick himself up an early Seeker's Arm Guard, as well as a Vision Ward. So he's going to be... It looks like they definitely have their priorities straight here, at least. Not every team in SKL focuses on the Vision
wards. True. But it's smart when you do. The smart teams do it, and it pays off most of the time, I would say. Especially when you see a Rengar coming in, that'll help quite a bit.
Yeah, and it looks like they're definitely putting it on that red side of the map. Some defensive wards, not wanting to get those buffs stolen anymore here. But here comes Toast. He's actually trying to make some moves on in the mid lane there. The Bola's going to go wide, and he's going to land the charm, taking a lot of tower aggro, but the ultimate is going to come out a Little Benny to save his life, and they're actually forcing a lot of the abilities in the mid lane. Zero Invictus is very, very low. He's going to have to be careful and try and back off here. But
I don't even,
almost
he must have died to... He must have...
Well, I'm assuming Little Benny traded a lot of damage back.
Yeah, the directed cam just screwing us over here.
Yeah, but Zero Invictus, great charm actually landing to counter that a movement from Toast there, but Toast going very, very aggressive there, using the flash and the ultimate there just only to get caught by a charm under tower. We are going to see the Headbutt Pulverize coming out of Weeblet. They're going to try and force a spell shield, but it's still active. Weeblet cannot get his spells off that he needs. They're going to pop on the hunt, and Luke Duke is actually using a lot of his health to try and get the kill on Caboose, but Caboose had heal still, so actually going to trade that one back. Nubinator forced to use the Wild Growth on himself there, and Oliver Closeoff has to be very, very careful. One more Glitter Lance might spell the end of Oliver Closeoff. He's going to sidestep that, but he's going to end up picking that one up with the Whimsy Auto, I believe, or the help fix. But
yeah, the helpful E right there from Lux. Great plays around the map from Revolution Death Squad. I mean, from Argon 53, countering Revolution Death Squads. They both went engaged.
Yeah.
Like it looked like Oliver Closeoff went in and able to pop the Wild Growth in time, and no kills picked up for them.
Yeah, but we did see that Revolution Death Squad actually did end up trying to roam down to the bot side there and pick up some kills, but nothing really picked up, so they're going to take the Dragon as a consolation prize here, while Argon 53 is going to be taking this Rift Herald. So Weeblet maybe trying to do the best he can to force them off of this Dragon, as Little Bunny's going to just be trying to poke them out a little bit here. He does have that Serrated Dirk and the Tier, so he's going to at least have a mana pool to support this harassment that he wants to start throwing out here. But Luke Duke, he's looking for the engage here, maybe looking for the hook.
He's just maybe looking to fend them off, but Weeblet has other ideas as he looks to go in onto all of the stuff.
And we're going to see a flash engage there from Little Benny, and the package is actually going to come in from Caboose. He's going too deep, though. He's actually going to be caught out by Zero Invictus, but that is going to be a kill on either side. And Oliver Closeoff is going to fall to Lulu. That's going to be a double kill picked up. And in comes the ultimate from A53 Toast. He's going to end up picking up the Bola, and that's going to get the kill for himself there as well. They're going underneath tower, though. Headbutt pulverized from Weeblet's going to try and get the kill. Little Benny is going to pick that one up underneath tower. And then it's going to be 4 for 1 on the side of A53. And a huge fight picked up for them. All started off with a flash engage from Little Benny.
All traded just for Dragon. I don't think that's worth. They were trying to force that way too hard, I believe. And a great re-engage after Weeblet thought he had a pick, and then the Fresh Lantern saves them. Then they end up still chasing, and it was the smart chase to keep going after them as they picked up 4, and that's worth just for first drag.
Yeah, I mean, once the Claw from Lissandra's gone onto that cooldown, it is quite a bit like a long cooldown on early levels as well. Knowing that they don't really have that engage potential from the Lissandra, Little Benny recognizes that, flashes in, gets himself a nice ultimate onto a lot of members of the team, and that forces a lot of just mobility from them. Caboose, unfortunately, using the package, going a little bit deep himself, and wasn't really able to pick up too much, but was poured out a lot of damage before he ended up going down there. They handed off the Rift Herald actually to Nubinator here, so he's going to be able to push this lane very, very hard. Lulu doing that pretty much by herself. Without the Rift Herald, so going to be focusing on, putting a lot of pressure on this top side of the map now.
Oh, for sure. You can definitely notice as C9 Genghis Khan comes in the top lane here.
Nubinator, he's got to be very, very careful. He doesn't have a lot. He's going to have to use the Wild Growth onto himself, and he's going to just try and run away as fast as he can. Genghis Khan going in. Yeah, Toast is coming in onto the bot side, and they're going to try and hop into Genghis Khan. That's actually going to be kill picked up there. A double kill picked up from Toast. The Bola going to be the last blow.
Hit the blow?
Yeah, that was the Bola strike that threw right into Lissandra and was able to pick up the double kill. So a nice turnaround there from A53. And Zero Invictus actually trying to come in underneath tower there. They got to be very careful. Their health bars are not able to support this if Zero Invictus is to land a great charm once again under towers. Toast having a little bit of flashbacks of that. Gonna just back off here, gonna pick up that ward, and just gonna think that the double kill might have been good enough. But this is a great start from A53.
A great start, and it doesn't exactly feel like the most unbalanced game, but these trades that they are taking just seem to be going in their favor, and they're the right trades to take for them as they seem to all go their way. Especially that this game means so much on the line that they're both just tied for 6th at the bottom of the state.
Looks like they might actually be going for the trades here on the bot side, speaking of, and that is going to be a nice headbutt pulverize coming out of Weeblet there, and they're going to trade a lot of damage back onto the bot side of our Revolution Death Squad, and they're actually going to force on the hunt out of copyrights there. He's very low on mana. He's not going to have enough to really cycle through an extended trade here, so they got to be very, very careful. Caboose still with a lot of mana sitting in his pool there, so they got to be careful. But here comes Genghis Khan. They're going to try and land the body slam onto Weeblet, and they're nothing. Everything's going to go wide, and they're going to just walk out of that one scot-free, and still really pushing the advantage here for Argon 53. Phage and Sheen finished up here for the Corki in the bot side. So he's definitely on a power spike, and he's well on his way towards the Triforce. But here comes Toast into the mid lane again. They're going to pick up an easy kill on a Zero Invictus. Definitely prepped up and ready to go. Toast flying in there with the ultimate, landing the Bolo this time. This is definitely what they need to really start that off.
Wow. Look at that. Lulu already has the man picked up.
Yeah. So it's not spelling well, and that's the first item going into Lissandra. It's definitely going to hurt her lane pushing
Especially
ability.
when you're winning lane already,
Yeah.
just based on flat damage.
But we are going to see Weeblet. He's going to try and go in for the trade again here. Copyright's having to take the Lantern from Luke Duke. A nice save from his teammate there. Forcing the flash in the mid lane, though. Genghis Khan using his abilities to zone off Toast in that mid lane. So they got to be very careful. Going to have to back off of that one. Not able to pick that one up quite yet, but they definitely warmed it up quite a bit here. So there's going to be some great pressure in that mid lane.
But yeah, 10-2 with lots of pressures throughout the mid and top lane, as well as bot lane. Bot lane seems to be trading fairly back and forth, though. There hasn't been exactly kills going on. It's just more trading and pressure to kill, and then one team runs away, and then the other team pressures back. But
oh, darn.
Yeah, the pressure is being exerted largely by Toast and the other sides of the map.
Yeah, it looks like Toast actually wants to try and make another play here as he abandoned the red buff to try and rotate down to bot very early on as they saw that Luke Duke was looking for a pick himself. So going to try and take advantage of that aggression, but got spotted out by a ward, got a little bit distracted there, so he's just going to go back to his red buff there, pick that up for himself, and then maybe just cycle through the lanes once again here. But Benny, you know, had a rough early time there, having to force the cleanse out of him very early on, but definitely turning it around here, farming very well, like you said there. And with the help of Toast in that mid lane, it's definitely putting the pressure and Zero Invictus on the back foot for them. So giving a little bit of freedom to this very immobile carry in the mid lane. He's finished up the Mirror Mana, so it's going to be a little more damage in his pocket.
Oh yeah, for sure. And he's obviously working towards, I think, what would be either a Yomu's or he might want to go with the Hex Drinker first. Next, I'm not sure, just based on the amount of magic damage this other team brings.
That's very true. Either one of those items would probably be very...
the armor pen. That's what I think most Varus's will build. So it makes sense either way. And our Toast right now is pretty much dominating the jungle up 20 CS as well. As he looks to just kill C9 damage straight up.
And he's going to actually get use the bushes back into his advantage here, and he's going to pick up that kill. Charm going wide, though, and he's actually going to sidestep everything from Zero Invictus. Oh, but the ultimate from Little Benny is going to go wide, not able to pick up the kill onto Zero Invictus. So he's just going to back off under tower. And Nubinator, using the banner command onto that minion there, is going to be able to push this further and further. Not
your most traditional Lulu first item, but really knew that he had the pressure in lane to push early, and might as well, if I'm not going to get a ZZ, I'm going to get a bigger.
Whoa.
Caboose looks to dive straight through the tier 2, and he's going to get collapsed on by Weeblet.
Oh yeah, copyrights, he's got to be very, very careful. The rest of the squad here used to use Flash and On the Hunt. One more rocket could finish this off, and it's actually going to go right past that first minion. Just barely picked him off there, and they're going to be able to pick that one up. And that is going to be a kill for Caboose. I think that was a solo kill, actually.
I think it was, yeah. The deep dive ended up working out. He had support there, so Copyrights knew he had to run and couldn't run fast enough with the On the Hunt.
Yeah, we were a little skeptical there right off the bat, but the hook going to go wide there for Luke in the mid lane. Trying to set up a play for his team there, but Nubinator, here he comes into the mid lane, going to pour a lot of damage, and the ultimate is going to come out of Luke, but it's not going to be enough. Forced under tower, he's not actually gone down yet, but Nubinator going to get the last auto in there. Little Benny going to try and follow this up under tower, but the teleport is coming in from Oliver Closeoff, going to try and catch out Weeblet under tower. He's taking a lot of damage here, and in comes Toast now, and they're going to pick up the tower, so no more damage there. And the Claw is not going to be able to follow up there, as Oliver Closeoff is going to fall in the end, so that is going to be a 2-for-0 overall in the mid lane, 14-2 kills, and they're going to keep pushing here. But, Copyrights get blown up immediately and followed up by Genghis Khan, trying to save the tower when they shouldn't have stuck around. They did not have the man advantage, and then there's going to be 2 more kills picked up on the side of Argon 53.
Just great overall map and kill domination from Argon 53 right now. Really showing why I personally thought Argon 53 was going to be one of the better teams this year, and surprised that they are tied for second last right now. I'm not necessarily saying Revolution Death Squad is bad, but they're getting outclassed right now in all respects to this game. 16-2 and a already 11,000 gold lead at the 18-minute mark is huge for Argon 53's confidence going into the rest of the season and even to the rest of the series, as they're looking to pick up 3 huge points to climb the standings.
Yeah, I mean, when we first saw Argon 53 in the qualifiers, I think we definitely had some high hopes for them in the split. Had a little bit of a lackluster start, to say the least. They played some tough teams.
They also had a little bit of a roster trouble as well.
Yeah.
So they had to get that sorted out. They had to find a new mid laner. And they, Little Benny ended up playing jungle last week and seems to be doing pretty okay in the mid lane this week. So maybe they'll end up sticking around with that.
Yeah, and I mean, Toast, that's obviously his home there. He's in that jungle. They are going to pick up the double Maw of Malmortis, actually, for both of their AD champs there, the Varus as well as the Rengar. So they're obviously not wanting to get blown up by this high AP team that they have. Really, the only AD that they're going to have is going to be from the Sivir, so not worrying too much about her, as she is quite a bit farther behind in terms of the kill-death ratio.
Yeah.
But
still up in CS.
Yeah, still up in CS, so she's got that going for her. But still, like around half an item behind, as we do see Caboose in the bot lane finish up that Trinity Force. He's finished up, or he's got himself a BF sword, so he's going to be pumping out a lot of damage when it comes to
really the only, maybe an IE on top of that is like the really big power spike quirk he has, but I think Trinity Force Sork Boots is all that you really
Weeblet,
need.
though, he's looking for a play here. Oliver closeoff. Is he going to be able to get saved by Luke Duke here? And out comes the Lantern. They're actually going to land the bolo onto Luke Duke himself. The ultimate going to come out through. And here comes the challenging spike. Caboose is actually going to pick that one up. But uh-oh, Little Benny is caught on the outside. Going to have to use the cleanse. Going to use everything he can to save himself, but it's not going to be enough as they are continuing the dive under tower there. Completely uncoordinated from the side of Argon 53. Everyone did not see the rest of the squad falling up. They're going to land the bola, going to try and save himself. But Genghis Khan is on the outside. They're going to try and get the flank here. And he's going to try and hop in and do some fancy footwork. He's going to end up going down to the
I think he was just maybe trying to save Alistar. I don't know. I think he was too low. Alistar, Numinator able to pick up something on the other side. So the team going a little too hard after Oliver Closeoff and a little less focused. Abandoning Little Benny, abandoning Caboose. And they pay the price for it.
Yeah, but I mean, that was completely uncoordinated. It seemed like Toast and Weeblet were definitely on the same page, but it did not seem like Little Benny or Caboose were on the same page. They kind of got picked off.
I think the page they were on was on the wrong page.
It was a very slow-paced page.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And they're going to end up actually giving up a mid lane tower for that. So that is going to be a huge swing here back in favor of Revolution Death Squad. Not in total, but just in terms of tempo. They've gotten a little bit of tempo. They got their foot back in the door at least a little bit.
First tower down, they have a lot of gold still on the map, so maybe a couple more slow pages out of Argon 53
slow pages. That's a slow read. You know that book when you're just you're trying to get through it, but man, it's so boring, and you got to read the same line over and over again.
That's just why I don't read. So.
Yeah, exactly. Just play League of Legends instead.
Yeah, just play League instead of the only thing I really do.
Yeah, quit your job, play League. One day we'll get pro. But anyways, we are going to see a engage here, or attempt at least from Genghis Khan. He's going to try and use the body slam just to zone them off of that pink ward. And he's so nicely placed in that brush there. But Nubinator doing the best he can to use a split push, just with the Lich Bane now picked up for him. So he's actually going to be able to pump out a lot of damage.
Banner Lich Bane, I like that. That's not the traditional Lulu build.
No, not at all. But on the hunt, pops here from Copyright's going to hope to pick out Nubinator, but he's actually going to flash over the wall. Zero Invictus not going to follow that one up. So there's going to be 2 cooldowns used on the side of...
I think that's worth it. Not too long.
Exactly. I mean, a flash from this split pushing Lulu, I mean, that's going to give you a little bit of time to at least
But they're
push
giving
that
up
back.
this inhibitor right now. That's Caboose and Toast. Might be able to put a fair bit of damage. They're not going to be able to quite get it yet, but definitely decent rotation there.
Yeah, Argon 53, I would say, is playing the map very well, recognizing that they maybe bit off a little more than they could chew there. And now they're using that Lulu, who's so far ahead, to their advantage, drawing a lot of attention into the side lanes there, and then the rest of their team. They are going to be able to push lanes very fast to the double 80 carries that they have in their composition. So just having that, if everyone commits to Nubinator, they're going to be able to really punish that with some very fast pushing. So got to be very careful where you're devoting your resources here for Revolution Death Squad. So gonna have to play this one pretty smart if they want to close this one out for themselves.
Do you think Weeblet's building another banner, or is he building a locket?
I would say that they're going to be building another banner. I feel like Weeblet and the squad really like side lane control, and they would like to play the waves.
They do, and it's a smart way to play the game.
It is. And that's the way to play this game. And Little Benny is actually getting caught out from a lot of CC here. He's going to use that lifeline, but he's actually going to go into copyright. They are diving underneath the tower, so there's going to be Caboose picking up a kill for himself, and the last auto going to be blocked, actually. But Rengar, he's caught out here in the base, and he's not going to be able to get out, so there's going to be 2 kills picked up for Zero Invictus there. But on the mean side, Nubinator is going to actually pick up another tower for themselves here.
I'm not trying to fight, I'm just split pushing.
Exactly, Caboose, he's in a little bit of trouble there, just trying to get out as much damage as he possibly can here. And he's actually going to trade a lot back, and he's actually going to pick up the kill for himself there onto the Ahri. So yeah, 100% worth. That is going to be a lot less. It's going to be able to answer Nubinator here. And now Nubinator pushing onto the inhibitor towers. So doing exactly what he can. Exactly. He's playing Nasus. That is going to be a Lulu role playing Nasus team. I'm not joining the fights no matter how much you ask. I'm just going to keep split pushing forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that would have been much more worth if Lulu doesn't join the fight when they're diving the inhibitor tower, if Lulu's getting another inhibitor tower on the side of the map. But I guess getting a tower in general is worth 6-1 in their favor, and nothing seems to be slowing me down except for the fact that they might be going a little bit too far here.
So we were completely wrong. Weeblet picked up the locket, so that's not going to be another banner.
I
but
could see him picking up like a ZZ later or something.
hopefully, fingers crossed here. But we actually do see Genghis Khan. He did pick himself up a ZZ Raw portal, so they're actually going to try and play the waves a little bit themselves. I don't know if they can devote him too much to side lane control there, as he's got to focus a little bit on the objectives, but they can at least throw him there for a couple seconds to get that out. But Rengar, here he goes. Toast is going to try and blow up copyrights, and the challenge smite comes out, and they're actually going to pick that one up very easy, and Luke Duke is going to go down as well. Not enough support for his AD carry there, as they're both going to go down, so it's going to be 2 for none, and a great catch there from Toast, being very, very proactive here from the team. But Oliver Closeoff going to do what he can to try and push the side lane on the top side, at least get themselves a little more control there, so they can't rotate onto anything else for them. But Little Benny's actually going to be pushing out that mid lane, getting some waves prep for them, as they're going to continue to push up this bot lane.
Which I think is the best wave to push right now.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can break the base here, you can pressure Baron later in a couple minutes, or you can just pressure top side of the map if you don't want to necessarily risk it to the Baron. But banner minion here, and everyone else here except for Little Benny usually. So
Genghis Khan taking a lot of harassment, actually, as he tried to get the engage. Not very advantageous for him there, actually. And they're going to pop on the hunt here, and they're going to try and get the engage on a Weeblet, but he's the tank. That's not necessarily the one you want to try and pop. Using the ultimate onto him there, and he's actually going to just tank a lot of the cooldowns here. But Toast, he's caught out a little bit. Are they going to be able to turn this around? But Oliver Closeoff is going to be able to get the ultimate onto Toast. Nobody's there to follow up quite yet. Exactly, no one is going to be following up on this. They're going to see the ultimate come out of Little Benny, though, and he's going to be able to lock up the team for as much as he possibly can. Luke Duke going to try and get the catch here, and the hook is actually going to land onto Toast, but we are going to see both him and Nubinator go down in the end of that. The Wild Growth not enough, and we are going to see them continuing to engage here onto Little Benny, and he's going to be exhausted. The flash over the wall, though, Little Benny is going to be able to go pick up a kill on the Luke Duke, but we are going to see the cleanse not going to be enough to pick up the kill onto Zero Invictus, but they're going to continue to push on the bot side of the map. But the teleport is coming out from Oliver Closeoff now. Going to be canceled, though, onto a very weak, it was a super weak turret.
Yeah, it didn't. It was a I guess he didn't cancel.
Well, he didn't cancel, yeah, but it got canceled. Yeah. But now, actually going to be able to pick that up for themselves. That is going to be huge. But man, very, very scattered again from Argon 53. Seems like when they're kind of caught out a little bit, they can't make the calls on the fly, it seems like.
Yeah, well, it felt like Weeblet might have been in the wrong position and they left him. But I feel like if your Alistar is getting ulted and you have the damage, everyone is there. Everyone was in the same general vicinity. They might not have been grouped. Yeah. But Alistar is so tanky. They were blowing lots of CC on him. Everyone should have re-engaged, but then they ended up still running away. Weeblet still lived somehow. I don't know how.
And he's healthy. Like, it's not like he got, like, chunked to 0 or anything. Like,
yeah, he was like 20%. Probably healed back up, though. And then they chased Toast for quite a while, able to pick up a couple kills on their end. And the inhibitor tower might be worth in the end. I don't know. It would probably be pretty even, I would say.
Yeah, odd build here coming out of this Lulu, actually, the Zeke's Herald now. So going for a very team-oriented build here from the Lulu, not going for the solo split push one, where, I mean, you're still going to split push with the banner, but I mean, with the Zeeks, you're definitely going to be going to empower one of your carries here, at least. None of them really crit-oriented carries.
No, exactly.
So it's an odd pickup, but Corky's going for the build, though. He picked up the Infinity Edge. Going to be going with the Zeal item now, whether that's going to be
I think that's going to be a rapid fire.
Yeah, rapid fire cannon or a shiv, whatever he decides to go there. So he's obviously building crit just to utilize that Zeke's a little bit more, as the, you know, the 250 is nothing to kind of laugh at from the Infinity Edge there. So they're going to try and pick that up for themselves, get themselves a little more team fight.
Benny is hurting there with the pushing around.
Yeah, I mean, look at this build as well. I mean, he did go for that Sterix gauge very early on to pair up with the Last Whisper that he's also got.
Is that Lord Dominic's, or is that just Last Whisper?
I think that's just Last Whisper. Yeah. He hasn't gone for Lord Dominic's, or he hasn't picked which. Yeah, exactly. So, Weeblet finished off that ward. There we go. Okay, someone did at least. Picked it up for
looks like Weeblet is going towards the ZZ Raw, as he has the 2 components of it, so called it. Very classic Weeblet, as he is 0-1 and 12. A lot of kill participation out of him, as well as out of Toast. Actually, they all have very good kill participation.
Yeah.
Weebot actually has the lowest.
Well, they have a lot of kills. That also helps with the kill participation. 23
but
kills.
the one death definitely looks really cool.
Yeah, 23 kills on the side of Argon 53 to 12 of Revolution Death Squad. So they are getting picks back, but Toast, he looks like they want to go for the engage here. Just pick up the inhibitor. I mean, you guys have the range of the poke comp, but they are going to go for the engage, actually. Oliver close off going into the team of the clock, but they are going to just have to use the wild growth onto Toast once again. He's pouring out a lot of damage, but it's not going to be enough to pick up any kills here. We are going to see Ari try and go back in. Caboose is going to be able to pick up Oliver close off there at the end of that fight, and they are going to finally be focusing the inhibitor. The rest of the team is going to be trying to chunk them out, as that's going to be a huge objective picked up on the side of Argon 53, only going down with a 1-for-1 on either side there. So overall worth, but Caboose getting caught out by a stray charm. He's going to get chunked very, very low. Genghis Khan going to flash in underneath him, and he's going to actually pick up the kill as well. Genghis Khan almost going down for that one though, so they're going to be very, very careful that a stray arrow from Little Benny isn't going to be able to pick up a kill here.
Yeah, Toast doesn't exactly have the build to be frontline Rengar right now. He seemed to, when he ulted, he jumped to the inhibitor. He didn't go full assassination.
Yeah, I think he might have accidentally clicked a ZZ Rock portal or minion. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. I thought he jumped towards the inhibitor, but it might have been his ZZ.
Yeah, like I think the ZZ Rot minion wave was pushing out of the base, and he accidentally clicked on one of the minions when he meant to click towards the inhibitor.
Right there.
It very much is, but Nubinator, he's actually going to pour a lot of damage here. Teleport is coming in from Oliver Closeoff, though they have to back off of this dragon here, but they are going to look for the engage on the hunt, and the claw coming out here. Nubinator going to use the wild growth onto himself, but here comes the rest of the squad here from Argon 53. Little Benny going to go down at the end of that, though, and they're going to keep trying to trade back the consistent damage, but Copyright is trying to pour out as much as he can. Nubinator going to use all he can and flow all of his cooldowns onto Oliver Closeoff. Going to pick up the kill, though. That is going to be Toast picking up a kill onto Zero Invictus on the tail end of that fight as well, and they're going to pick up a dragon for their troubles here. So all in all, that was a 3-for-1. Little Benny, the only one to go down at the end of that very extended fight.
Very extended and so much damage is coming out of Nubinator right now for going first item banner of command. I'm very surprised. And it's very worth flash in on.
And look, there he's going to pick up the kill again. Nubinator doing all the work that he possibly can, almost going down though, so he's playing a little bit fast and loose here, but 6-1-10. You have the freedom to play that fast and loose too, so they might pick up another inhibitor here. Caboose and Toast still very, very healthy, and they're chunking this one out very, very fast. So they're going to back off of that though after that. Not going to try and force their hand too much here. 2 inhibitors is more than enough to kind of set your own tone in the game.
Set your tone, set your Baron up here, maybe put the banner top, the ZZ top, and just do the dance until they have to leave the base or until they have to back to stop this push. Like, these minions are dancers.
It's tough to play against into that.
Now you just gotta clear the vision and either bait it or just do it.
Yeah, I mean, they probably...
I think they can just do it.
Yeah, but the double 80 carry and Toast being as strong as he is with the amount of damage, I feel like they definitely can just burn down this Baron if they really had to.
He's getting pretty tanky, that Rengar.
Yeah, I mean, just with his pseudo-tank build, I mean, going with the Mob Mount Mortis and then going with the Titanic. Genghis Khan taking a lot of damage here, actually, early on. They do have the vision, though, that they need to kind of force their hand around this Baron. They can set up the pick, they can set up the play if they need to. They can just burn down the Baron if they really want to, but I mean, everyone's kind of here, so they can really just play this Baron dance and wait for the super minions to push in bot lane. So
it's in their control right now. The game is in their hand. They just have to close it and finish it off right.
Yeah, so they are just kind of hovering around the River Scuttler buff here to speed themselves up a little bit here, flashing a couple masters.
There's a drink right there for the S-scale drinking game with that mastery pop.
Yeah, if anyone is playing it on a early Thursday evening.
Yeah.
But they are going to just actually start up the Baron here. Going to try and burn this down very, very fast. Exactly, no vision, but and it is going down very, very fast with that Zeke's buff coming in. But they're going to see the Lantern here. Genghis Khan, he's going to flash in, and he's not going to be able to get the steal, but immediately taking the Lantern out of that one. Very quick.
Great attempt at the steal.
Exactly,
It would have worked out perfectly if he goes in, Lanterns out.
That would have actually been the slickest Baron steal I think I ever would have seen in my life.
I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
But now they can just take this Baron, go top, get the inhibitor, but no steal comes out of it.
No, yeah, but it is going to be a lot of pushing power here coming out of Argon 53. Now that they do have this Baron buff, Toast is actually using the ultimate here. He's looking for a pick. Exclamation marks are popped. Everyone's excited. They know that he's in the area. Going to just use that onto a minion, though. Not wanting to go too deep, too fast. They're going to just put the Baron minion under tower, though.
The Baron.
Yeah, the Banner minion, sorry.
The Baron Banner minion.
Banner minion. But we do see that the boss side is pushing very deep into the base here. So Revolution Death Squad,
Copyrights has to go. This is a free inhibitor tower.
Exactly. They can't really do too much here, as somebody has to answer these minions that are pushing into the base, but they're going to pick up another inhibitor for free if they keep sticking around, which they absolutely can.
And they're just letting them poke them down as well, which is so hard to do against. You have to either like go all in, but this team is so far ahead that you got to catch the right guy. You're in a really tough spot. A hook on a Weeblet is like the only one person you don't want to hook.
Exactly.
And that's the one that's.
But he's the main front line. He knows hooks, and he absolutely wants to.
He wants it. Give me a hook.
Yeah. Inhibitor respawns here for Revolution Death Squad, but it's immediately going to fall again as the team is prepped and ready to burn that one down to the ground. Oh, Toasty's going to get caught out, though, but they are going to use the wild growth onto him. They're going to heal him right back up, and they're going to just keep pushing into the base here, actually just taking the fight where they can. The charm is going to land on Toasto, and he's going to be going down in the end here, 2-0 Invictus, but they're going to keep chasing, and they're going to actually pick up the kill for Caboose onto Oliver Closeoff, and that is going to be a 1-for-2 trade so far. But Nubinator, he's taking a lot of damage here very, very fast, and he's actually going to get shut down by copyrights, but they're going to fall. Caboose doing too much damage here.
That's a good game.
Yeah, exactly. That is a very good game from both teams. But that is going to be an ace actually picked up for Argon 53, and both Nexus Towers gonna pick up that ZZ Raw portals for the troubles, get a little bit extra gold, padding the stats here, but they are going to close out the game here. So there's going to be game 1 going over to Argon 53.
Good game, well played. Let's have a GG. That was before the game, but great game played by Argon 53 there.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the worst game by Revolution Death Squad. They just fell behind and it snowballed just right from the beginning, right from the get-go.
Yeah, and I mean, they played the lanes very, very well, even though Argon 53 had some scattered fights there. I mean, where some of their members got a little bit too excited, and some of the other ones were a little bit, lagging behind. Yeah. So if they can be a little bit coordinated in some of their engages and some of their rotations, then they can definitely accelerate this win to be a little bit faster than that 35 minutes. Because I feel like if they all would have been on the same page, could have maybe closed it out a little bit faster. But still, they played the lanes very, very smart. Nubinator played out of his mind. This Lulu was very, very strong. Itemized very, very effectively.
Very effectively, unique, and it worked. So I liked it a lot. Void Staff completed at the end. Looking for, I don't even know what that large rod would have went into, maybe like a Zanya's or something.
Yeah.
Probably not, actually, because they're toy. Maybe.
Yeah. That's the tough part about picking Lysandra, though, into the top lane right now, is just because there's so many MR items that are so effective in the top lane. You can go ZZ Rot, you can go Banner. So it's really going to just shut down anything Lysandra wants to do. So you have to kind of abandon the lane after that point, and then Lulu just free to split push for the rest of the game. So tough game from Oliver Closeoff, but I don't think you really pin that on most of his game. It's just kind of the matchup that it went into. So
yeah, exactly. Tough call in the end. And I'm interested to know what they bring into this game, too. It's been a long night here at SKL, but we have one more game to play with Game 2 between Argon 53 and Revolution Death Squad, so make sure to stick around for that because we'll be right back.
Woo!